Today on Credit Authority with Rhonda Kolch. Rhonda's talking investment strategies for 2021 with Daniel Raupp from Fortitude Investment Group, Howard Haberman from Rock East Funding, Filippo Empanato from Meow Coins, Stephen Calapai from Park South, and Lyndon Archibald from Elite Auto Wholesalers. Ladies and gentlemen, here's your host, Rhonda Kolch.
Hello, everybody. This is Rhonda Kolch. I am your host of the Credit Authority. And on today's episode, we are going to be speaking all about investment strategies for 2022. So in studio with us today is our first guest. His name is Dan Raupp. He is the managing partner and co-founder of Fortitude Investment Group. Amazing organization. I've known you guys for quite some time. They have locations, obviously, right here on Long Island and Port Jefferson, but also in New Jersey, Chicago, Florida, and California. So with that busy, crazy schedule, thank you so much, Dan, for being able to join us today.
Thank you for having me.
So, I wanted to bring you in, whether it been you or you have a partner, Jeff Kisnowski as well, who we've, known each other for a while. But it's important to talk about where we're going, right? So last year was all about the shutdowns and business disruption because of COVID. Mm-hmm. And I know that you're in the investment industry and predominantly surrounding yourself around real estate.
That's correct.
So when people are looking at real estate and other investment opportunities, let's talk for a few minutes about where you think the new market is going to head with the interest rates slowly creeping up and investors jumping in and lack of inventory.
Sure. No, thank you for having me. Appreciate the opportunity to educate your listeners. Right now, what we're seeing is a little bit of an anomaly. You've got all the moons aligning. There's a lot of money in motion for political reasons. People are leaving certain cities and relocating to other areas that they're not necessarily that familiar with. So they're selling investment real estate, and they're now trying to find replacement properties and conduct a 1031 exchange, a like-kind exchange, to defer their taxes. And it's very unsettling to them because they're not familiar to that new market that they're shopping in. So they wind up doing their research, and with a 1031 exchange, there's time constraints. You have 45 days from the time you sell to identify the properties that you're going to use as your replacement options, and you have 180 total days to close on those properties. So as you can see, that could be a lot of pressure for an investor. They sell a building, they need to go find replacement properties. They go and they start shopping, and they're on their 30th day. They own 15 days left. They haven't found anything that they feel confident in. They're not familiar with these new markets. So what my firm does is we provide them passive solutions, passive investments through the form of either Delaware statutory trusts or tenant in common investments. These are sold as securities, and accredited investors, so an investor with $1 million net worth or $200,000 a year income, $300,000 jointly, can invest in a passive manner in a piece of real estate that's held in a trust managed by a multi-billion or trillion-dollar real estate firm, and they can diversify. So we're getting a lot of activity. It's busier than it's ever been. The industry itself just came back from a conference, learned that there is record-breaking industry volume across every sponsor. These are, again, big companies. You've got Inland, JLL, Pasco, Cantor Fitzgerald, Blue Rock, just to name a few.
Sure.
And these are the companies that go out there and they find institutional quality real estate. They put it in a trust structure that you can own a piece of the trust, and therefore you own a piece of the real estate that's held inside of the trust. So it gives investors the opportunity to, I call it life after landlord. You can retire from being an active landlord, and we help these investors. We're completely independent, so we don't build our own proprietary product. We work with all these partners, all these sponsors that build these products, and we help investors allocate and build portfolios of these types of investments so they can enjoy their retirement.
I'm just digesting the information that you're speaking about. So if I'm understanding, if I had money that was meant to go into a 1031, but I didn't have the time or I was not able to meet the criteria, I'm able to partner with somebody like yourself, and you'll protect me against that loss.
So what we're able to do is sit with you, even if you are somebody that's actively wanting to manage your own real estate. So you're out there searching and you're really trying to find your own direct properties that you want to purchase. It's always good to sit with us because we can back you up. If you found a building, how often do buildings fall through when you're trying to close on them? It happens a lot. So if you work with us, we can always put a DST as a backup option, because once you build your menu, you have 45 days to build a menu of replacement options. So if you identify 2 properties that you really want to go forward with, but you pick also one DST just in case your deals fall through, we can help you manage that situation as well. We have a website, 1031dst.com. There's a wealth of knowledge in there. We generally have a list that if you are an accredited investor, as soon as you fill out and request to be to have a look at the property listings, you'll be able to log in, we'll approve you, you'll probably hear from one of our representatives, and they're just there to answer any questions that you may have. But what we are really seeing often right now is because of that COVID environment, because of the baby boomer generation, you've got real estate owners that they were blue collar, the patriarch and matriarch, they blood, sweat, and tears. They were landlords. They built up these monster real estate portfolios. They afforded their children different lifestyles. Their kids are now doctors, attorneys. They don't want to get their hands dirty. They don't want to be landlords. And the parents recognize that. And although it seems like a lavish lifestyle, being a landlord is hard work.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. And
I'm not having a great experience with some of my tenants right now.
And when the law isn't behind you on top of it as a landlord, it adds a whole other layer of stress. So we've never seen more than right now, when the baby boomer generation is going to pass all this wealth down. They're looking for passive solutions. They're looking for something that they can say, you know what, I don't want to pay taxes on this. I can't afford to lose half the money or 40% of my money in taxes. I can't afford to lose the principal, so I don't feel comfortable if I'm not confident in the buildings that I'm finding myself. I want to diversify. So we're finding ourselves to be a very viable solution for many investors across the country.
If somebody wanted to work with your organization, I understand that you qualify them as to be an accredited investor.
That's right.
Doesn't mean that their pathway to you is through a 1031. They could independently come to you and place funds with your organization as well.
That's right. So we specialize in tax-efficient investment vehicles. So whether that's a 1031 exchange eligible investment or a qualified opportunity zone fund, so if you sell a business or you sell highly appreciated stock, we can help you defer your taxes. And that's our specialty. I mean, early in our career, we recognized that it's a lot easier to keep dollars in clients' pockets as opposed to going out and trying to pick the best stock and make new money. Let's just keep what you've already earned and make it a little bit easier for compounding growth. Because if you have $1 million and you had to pay the taxes, and after it's done, you're only left with $600,000, you've got to achieve some pretty unrealistic types of returns just to get it back to $1 million. If we can keep it as $1 million and then just keep compounding the growth from there, we've got a major head start than our competition. So yes, we take regular cash investments as well. You can invest passively in any of the investment vehicles. And we have a free consultation. So if you just want to sit down, you have questions, you can reach out anytime. And again, just to plug us again, it's www.1031dst.com. That's going to be the best way to find us.
So that goes directly to you?
That does.
Or you and one of your partners?
It's the whole team. So we'll wind up getting a sheet, and we'll get your contact details. We'll send you an instant email, and probably within a few hours, you'll receive a phone call.
What would be a good qualifying client for you?
So anyone that is a real estate owner or business owner that is concerned about tax deferral, getting ready for retirement, trying to plan, hey, we want to sell this building, but we don't have quality replacement properties. We're not sure what to do. So we would love to find an alternative, some solution to an issue. And we've done very, very complex deals, we go anywhere from several $100 million exchanges to $100,000 exchange. The minimum investment at a DST is $100,000. So we're able to help investors diversify, and we've had some 20-year relationships with investors. So
I love it. I love it. Again, you are listening to The Credit Authority. I am with Dan Raupp. He is the managing partner and co-founder of Fortitude Investment Group. I appreciate you coming into the studio today and taking time out and sharing your experience with our listeners.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you.